Welcome again.
Welcome back.
I
That was
hope.
so strange, man.
I hope. As soon as we talk about UFO abductions, maybe they're listening. Maybe they're sitting down, or maybe a lot of channels are having this issue. I don't know. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. My internet is fantastic because one of the things, if the internet on my end wasn't working, I wouldn't have been able to talk to Anthony behind the scenes because we talked through StreamYard. So maybe it was a StreamYard connection issue. I don't know, but we're back on. And like I said, everybody, I want to thank everybody in. Fast disclaimer, I'll say this real quick again. We are not here to tell you at all that abduction is real or not. That's up to you. We know UFOs are real because that's unidentified flying objects. That could be anything. Now, alien ships, that's up to you if you want to believe it. I believe in it. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in the paranormal, but a lot of people don't. Unfortunately, there's a percentage of the people in the world that doesn't believe in something unless it happens to them. And I get that. I think personally, a lot of people don't want to believe in things because it's too much the world's hard to live. It's not an easy place to live. It's really not. Taxes, bills, taking care of families. So bringing in all their stuff, it is hard in life. And a lot of people don't choose to believe in something unless it happens to you. But that's your choice. So for this topic, just pretend just pretend abduction is real. And we're going to go look at a chart of the 10 signs that you've been abducted. You guys all know Anthony's story. And I've mentioned some stories where I feel maybe I've been abducted or not. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share this article. And I do have a few videos that I'll mix in the middle of the article. So you guys don't feel like all we're doing on this show today is looking at article. I do have 3 other videos, but this article is 10 signs you might have already been abducted by aliens. And when we get through one of these 10s, there's probably some relations that Anthony has had, and we'll be able to talk about them again when we get within the article of the 10 signs to see what you have experienced. Okay. Now, people have stories of full memories of it. Some people have partial memories. Some people have memories in dreams, and some people have spots memory. And one of the things that's common with a lot of people saying, well, you should be able to remember this and this and this and this. And people forget when you yourself have gone to a hospital for maybe a minor surgery, big surgery, or hey, listen, when you get an anal probe from the hospital, they put you to sleep. And when you wake up, you don't remember a damn thing, right? A lot of surgeries, you don't remember a damn thing. Sometimes you remember flashes of things that happened during a surgery. So when you get abducted, you're basically on a medical table up there. And a lot of times they're going to have you asleep so they can study you. And it's no different than you visiting a hospital not having a full memory of whatever kind of operation that you have.
Yeah, anesthesia knocked you right out, man.
Yeah, you got to remember that, people. So, we're going to dive right into this before we get knocked off again. And if you guys haven't, please hit that like button again. Hit the like, leave a comment. And before we started this show today, guys, I actually showed a little preview to Anthony of the next episode. And let me tell you, it kicks ass.
It sure does.
And I got some parts. Got some parts in it. Anybody want to donate to the channel and be part of the cartoon? Let me know. All right. 10 signs you might have already been abducted. Number 10. Strange windows of missing time. So I'll read this real quick, and then I know Anthony has had this happen to him. But here we go. Perhaps the biggest indicator of an alien abduction is the sudden realization of missing time. These windows can last for a few minutes, up to several hours. Quite often, those suffering from these disturbing episodes turn to hypnotic regression to unlock those repressed memories. Incidentally, and use such a techniques of divides opinions, even in the UFO community. There's people even in the UFO community will recognize that there might be ships, but they might not recognize abductions. Even in its own community, not everybody agrees on everything. So many skeptics suggest that results achieved under hypnosis are unreliable. Of course, listen, a true skeptic is going to be a skeptic no matter what. No matter what you show in front of them, a true skeptic will never even accept any kind of a truth or any kind of a possibility. A skeptic is a skeptic. Okay.
That's right.
Some even claim they are simply cases of the witness being led by the person performing the session. Okay. All right. So basically, the person who's hypnotizing you is the one that's leading you into a story. You know what? I can see some of that with some, but not all. You can't tell me every single person who does this practice is leading to every single person into a story. Guys, you can look up videos of some of these of people being hypnotized, and you can judge it for yourself if that person's doing it. We should also note that many others believe hypnotic regression to be very credible. What's more, it is used often for various reasons outside of UFO circles. Now listen, like lie detector test. Some people say you can't get the truth using them. Some people say, no, they shouldn't even be used because people could pass those like anything. So there's always pros and cons of anything. But beyond that, missing time. Now, Anthony, you mentioned in one of your stories of yourself feeling you've been abducted, that this one, number 10, you have experienced.
Yeah, this had happened to me back in 1993 when I was 13, out for a motorcycle ride on a weekend on a beautiful day. And I noticed the triangular craft coming into the entrance of the woods. When it got to I'd say about 100 yards away from me, it had started lowering itself just a little bit more. And as it was coming in, I saw everything reflect from the bottom of this triangular craft, and then it had stopped. And another craft came off the top to the side, and they started, spinning around each other a little bit very slowly. And the other one, they went right back on top of each other, and they went straight up until I couldn't see them anymore. When I came to, I had realized the sun was starting to go down, but that didn't dawn upon me yet time-wise. I heard my parents screaming for me, my sister, and then I realized that about 5 hours had gone by. But when those craft were near me, there was no sound, no birds, no cars. I didn't hear nobody else riding dirt bikes in the woods. I mean, it's like everything just stopped and went silent. It was real freaky. And still to this day, I can't figure out how that happened or where all that time went.
Yeah.
Didn't see no aliens or anything like that. So the craft had the missing time. Don't remember, if I was on a craft or if I was taken or what happened. But 5 hours did go by.
And I've mentioned, not UFO related, that my brother and I experienced a time warp kind of thing at Gettysburg, where we felt like we were at a reenactment for 3-4 hours. And then when we left, it was like we're only there for 10 minutes. Kind of opposite. Yeah. Now, that's more paranormal. Or was it paranormal? Maybe it was something up there. I don't know. I mean, I can't say. But I saw somebody in the chat saying, I think it was Lucum, saying, Mom missed 3 hours. So there are people. Well, I've seen a lot of people graduating 92 and 93. Wow. Oh, I was born in. Oh, come on, Janet. I don't want to hear that you were born in 93 when we graduated high school.
I was 13 years old in 93. You get a lot of skeptics, right, that want to say, it's impossible for missing time to happen. And then I always use the same scenario. How many people have been driving in their car before, and all of a sudden they got from point A to point B, and they have no recollection of how that happened. Well, that's missing time also. So it happens to all of us.
Yes. 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 Janet, I gotcha. Born 74. I was born 73, Dina. And 73 was the year that the Sex Pistols broke out. That's the only claim I got. Or
1981,
actually,
right here, baby.
hey, Dina, you and I were born when Kiss broke out. So, we're strong. Now, number 9, sudden feeling of constant anxiety. Okay. Now, I know everybody has feel anxiety, but let's see what it's kind of talking about here. I wish this black square would go away. I hate advertise. A sudden feeling of anxiety is often recalled by people who discover they have been abducted by aliens. What more, this panic state often results in other issues. For example, many have sudden feelings of having to be ready to go on the run at any moment. They don't, however, know who or what they are running from. And I'm not going to read this whole thing because what it's talking about is your body experience something major. Even though you're not remembering it fully with your eyes, but your body and back memory of the brain is remembering this. And not just in the UFO community, there's people who felt they saw Bigfoot and ghosts and paranormal. And after they think they saw something, they notice that the next day, their anxiety, they're like thinking something's coming again after them without even fully seeing something here. You see here, it is perhaps worth nothing. One of the most famous case of alien abduction, the Betty and Barney Hill case. Well, I'm not going to go to the Betty and Barney Hill case. We already know about that. But let's go back to Anthony for a second. So, Anthony, after your time lapse and you feel like you were gone, the next day, did you feel anxiety all of suddenly after that experience?
All day. I mean, after that experience happened, and I went home with my parents, and I was up in my room for weeks that went by. I had a lot of anxiety. I would get nervous looking up at the sky after that had happened. I had a lot of anxiety after that for quite some time.
Real quick, Daily Dan, I have not received the thing you said you sent. Maybe it's coming today. You're when you send stuff from the East Coast, depending on how you send it, usually East Coast to the West Coast takes 3 to 5 days. New York, regular ground takes a full 5 days. So I haven't seen it yet, but as soon as I seen it, Dan, I'll let you know. I mean, you hear this in the Bigfoot community where, remember, oh my God, our good friend from Standing Goat Rescue, like when he said he's out in the woods and he feels and senses that something's out there and it builds anxiety. Yeah, people say, well, it's dark. I get that. Sometimes you're in a dark place, you can feel anxiety, but when you know the area, when you know the spot that you're in, the darkness is not scary like your own house when it's dark. You know your house.
Sure.
But there's times that even in your own house, anywhere, you feel like something is not right. Something is here. Is it paranormal? Is it a ghost? I mean, you don't know. And everybody experiences when you should be feeling comfortable. Now, if you go to a new haunted house, a new place, listen, you're going to feel anxiety because you've never been there. You heard stories, yes. But we're talking about after an event or you're somewhere where you're comfortable and you know the darkness. That's where I'm getting at. Let's go to number 8. Here we go. Hearing strange noises while going in and out of sleep. This is what it says here. Many paranormal researchers suggest that the moments when a person is going into and coming out of sleep are of importance. You guys hear that? Going into and coming out of sleep are important. Our own friend our dream girl who comes on our channel tells us that sometimes your dreams is telling you a story that has happened to you, and it's just putting it in an image that you might be able to recognize it, like clues. And
I
some
totally
claim
agree.
when they are, or perhaps their mind, are most open to unknown energies that surround us. Many abductees have reported hearing the chatter and whispers of these strange entities during this time. These little understood moments, even today, are subject of debate. Well, first of all, let's stop there for a second. Everything is debatable. That's like common fucking sense. You can debate everything. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing new. But think about these noises. That you're hearing noises. Now, there's two things, and I definitely want to get Anthony's opinion on this. There's two things I think. You are hearing strange noises. That's not based on a dream. That maybe they're looking after you, or they're looking upon you, and you're able to hear that. Or Anthony, I want to hear you on this one. Or the strange noises
Sending you
that you're
pictures.
hearing were the noises you actually heard during your abduction, but it's replaying in your brain like a record that you can't see. What do you
Right.
think about this one?
I agree. You definitely hear things that are going on when you're having that kind of scenario. Like I just sent you the pictures from when I had that dream that I consider now. I consider it an abduction, but I was in that dream state and I was taken, and they put that big ass drill through my shoulder like that. I mean, it was horrible, but I thought it was a dream for a while, and then I woke up the next morning, and my shoulder was, I mean, it was humming. I was in a lot of pain for a couple days after that, and right in the spot where they put the drill through my shoulder. Um, so I've had quite a few experiences like that. It's no joke. It's no joke. Sometimes I almost believe now that they're abducting our consciousness a lot to study us. Just like people remote view and they're able to see different locations. Well, what if they do different segments of that to us and take consciousness while we're asleep to study that as well, to study our spirit, we'll call it, or astral form. Maybe they don't have that. Maybe these beings don't have spirits or an astral form, and they devised a way to study ours, and they can take it while we sleep. You know, it's just one theory I'm working on.
Now I'm going to show a clip of a person getting abducted. I want to see if this has happened to Anthony. And guys, this is for fun. I'm not making fun of anything, so just a little disclaimer.
You couldn't play a porno?
That's from a movie. Now, of course, there's different. I was just showing that for fun. That's actually a sci-fi movie, a probe. But beyond different probes, to this day, Anthony, do you like right now, like if you like last night when you went to bed, are you still hearing noises, or is it like off and on?
No, I don't hear I don't hear noises like, when I'm going to bed or anything like that. If an experience happens, it happens or whatever. But I will say this, when I had that dream experience where I was taken, that's exactly how I felt. You see how that guy was screaming? I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I was screaming when they were putting that rod, that drill through my shoulder. That's how I felt. Now, the same thing didn't happen to me like happened to that poor bastard, but I was screaming like that, and they had no expression on their face whatsoever. They were just, it was like looking at a mask. I mean, it was crazy, man.
And people, the
like
only reason I
robots.
showed that one is I try to show some other ones, but they're copyrighted to a point where they're blocked. So I thought, but let's get back to, let's see what's
And
the
you see
next
how the
one
craft
is.
looked all dirty and sweaty and
Yep.
slimy? Was not like that at all for me. Kind of looked like I was in a sterilized Tupperware. I mean, everything had smooth edges and
Well,
spotless. You know,
of course,
it was like everything came out of an injection mold.
this would be my opinion. Of course, this is only an opinion. Of course, that was off a sci-fi movie about a guy being abducted and all that. Of course, they're gonna make it look sci-fi, scary movie-wise.
Yeah,
But if an alien ship comes here, I have to feel that their ship is going to be almost sparkly clean because the technology and stuff, the intelligence they must have to be able to have a craft that comes here. So beyond something like that in a movie, I would feel kind of like if I don't know, I can't remember finding this guy. I know that they overtopped what it's supposed to look like, but I would feel it'd be like silver, super clean, because like a hospital. When you go do a procedure,
cleaner,
they make sure that you
cleaner.
are 100% sickness free. No
Right.
germs could get on you. And I even think
I was just
aliens
gonna
are
say
more
that.
intelligent than us, because we get this image like they're gonna put us on a dirt, they're gonna do it, throw us
Nah.
back. No,
Look at
these
it
things
this
are
way,
more
Eric. They don't
intelligent.
wanna traipse around all of our germs and blood and feces and urine and none of that shit. They don't want none of that shit on their ship to take back to their planet or wherever it is they come from. They keep that sterilized and germ free. You don't see us. There's no food on there. There's no cups. There's no drink. You don't see none of that when I had that experience. It was just hallways and rooms. I mean, even the table that I was on was like molded to the floor. Like you couldn't pick it up and move it if you wanted to. It was like form fitted there. It was really weird. Very weird to explain it, man. It was crazy.
Now here's
Never seen
number
anything like
7. Number 7, a lot of people have experienced this. Number 7 is the appearance of unusual markings on the body. Okay, unusual markings. You know, for example, you guys, a lot of you like Juan Torres. You've been with the channel forever. My own brother has showed people that he had a tattoo, and all of a sudden he has a new marking that was never there before. You know, marking that just appeared, and he felt pain behind this new marking. And this is what it says here. Perhaps as much as missing time, another alleged clear indicator of an alien abduction is the sudden appearance of strange markings. These are often red dots or squares and unusually irregular space on the body, as if from purposely designed template. What's more, these markings are often in particular patterns and are not simply a mark or a bruise. Indeed, the markings are very similar to branding. Most often, these marks fade after several days. Now, that's it. See, right there. I love that part, because some people think, well, if these people experience markings, then how come they can't show us no more? Because it does say that some markings do disappear. You know, because we don't know what kind of technology they're using to explore your
right.
body and all that. We don't know. And
That's
there's
right.
people that have markings that does show. So that's not a mark. That's not a statement for every case of abductions. But there's been a lot of abductions that weird markings are on their body and they're gone.
That's right.
You know, when this happened to you, I know you're a kid. I know it's hard to remember because you're so young. But after your thing, did you remember any markings from that? And beyond that, have you noticed some markings even after that just appear for some reason and then they disappear?
Markings back then, no. Anything that disappeared that happened from that to me,
But you probably
no.
weren't even
I
looking
do have a
too.
mark on my body, on my arm that I can't explain, but it's not from that. It was from I noticed it after another experience, but
But Anthony, if you think
that,
about this, like you said, you had parents, you know, at the time, you know, like they want to slap you for just being gone for 5 hours.
right.
More of looking at your body. I mean, you could have had a marking in the middle of your back. It's not like you could look at your back.
Well, right. None that I
Yeah.
personally
So
noticed or
you
was
never know.
was
You
broken
might have
in.
had a marking. I mean,
Possible. But I didn't see anything, no. But it is possible. Like you said, you can't see your back, you know.
no. And anybody in the chat, have any of you guys, Joey Roca, he followed my channel from the beginning. Aliens abducted. The balls thing is an inside joke, people. It's an inside joke. I love it. I love it. So have they mentioned the theory on exploding head syndrome?
Exploding head syndrome.
I'm gonna type that in.
Never heard of that.
Exploding
Head syndrome? That's new to me.
Yeah. Well, here I'll pull it down. And thank you, Spirit Stalker, for showing that to us. You might taught us a new word that we
Definitely
never
like
heard
to
of
hear
before.
about
This
it.
is what it says here. Exploding head syndrome. Exploding head syndrome is a type of sleep disorder in which you hear a loud noise or explosive crashing sound in your head. The sound isn't real or heard by anyone else. The explode typically happens suddenly, even when you're beginning to fall asleep. And I'm not here to say that's not true. I mean, but it's almost, sometimes I feel like we can come up with so many names for anything out there. Well, this is why you had this, because of this. This is why you had this. It's almost like every feeling, every mental thing somebody goes through, there's a name for something. There's something for everything out there.
Yep.
And
just like
and
that
I'm
pill
not saying that's not the
advertisement.
case. I'm not saying that's not the case, but it seems like you cover anything up. And I'm glad you shared that with us. I never heard of that before. Like I never heard of alien hand syndrome. That an alien hand syndrome is when your hand accidentally slaps somebody. It's true. I did a show on it. Alien hand syndrome. They call it alien hand syndrome, where Juan Torres, you know it, buddy.
You mean like when you get like a spasm and it just moves by itself?
Yes.
Your
And
hand?
they call
Yeah,
it alien hand
I'm familiar
syndrome.
with that.
So there's a name for everything out there. But beyond that, real quick, I do want to mention something. Connor, our friend Bigfoot Anon, is going to a con this weekend. And I'm going to share the screen what kind of con that he's going to. He's going to a place called Deep South Paragon. And he's going to be doing, he's actually was just added in as one of the guest speakers there.
Awesome, man.
And it's in Alabama. This Paranormal has a cosplay contest, escape room, Dungeons and Dragons, kids murder mystery, broad games, and prize giveaway. So he's actually driving there as we speak. And if any of you guys live near Alabama, let me put in the website here, because it starts in 6 hours, but it goes through the weekend. If any of you guys want to check this out, Connor's going to be there. Let me
Alabama.
Pulse it there, and let's check this out. In Deep South Para in Delville, Alabama, 6 hours. Mission tickets, vendor packages, sponsors. Let's see how much tickets are for this place. Okay, let me get off the screen and put on the screen. And because I want to give a shout out, because anytime you have one of our good friends at a convention speaking and all that, and if you are in that area, go support them. Go support your friends. September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And the tickets are from $0 to $145. So what does that mean? Let me click on it. Here. So they got general admission, $25, which is reasonable. That's not a bad price at all. For a 3-day pass, it's $55. But I mean, if you guys don't know about it, I'm guessing the 3-day pass might not work for you because you're probably not going to go there until tomorrow. But $55 for a 3-day pass, and there's a VIP admission for $145. There's a haunted dinner party and investigation.
That's cool.
That is
Does it
cool.
say where they're investigating?
I know Connor's told me that he's going to be going with the VIP party and all that, and go on investigation with them during that time. And down here it says testing's free, sold out. I don't know what the testing is, but the VIP stuff sold out. Okay, so even if you guys want
That usually
VIP,
goes first.
that's sold out. But there's general admissions, and if you're in that area, support Connor. Go check it out. Find out when he speaks and all that. He actually had to do a 20-minute interview to be able to be on it with them and all that. And part of the reason they wanted him too is because, like Anthony, he got himself in a newspaper. Anthony got himself in an article. That stuff helps because now you get yourself in a newspaper and an article. They're like, oh, Anthony, we want you to speak for us because you're out
Very
there.
true.
So check it out. We're proud. Anthony and I, we're proud of anybody in the community that gets to be part of a community and gets to speak somewhere. So Sweet Home Alabama. So play some Leonard Skinner.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Get your butt out there. Let's go back to the 10 signs here. 10 signs. Actually, let's do this real quick. Let's play one video of something real quick. This is not an abduction. This is Harvard professor says asteroid was really an alien probe. And I want to get Anthony's opinion on this. Yeah, I think they're talking about the cigarette shaped one. And now this is, of course, talking about professors of Harvard saying it could be possibly an alien ship. Here we go.
Talbot here with Richard Southern. Welcome, Richard. And Richard, from the rings of Saturn to the gases of Uranus, we're fascinated with outer space. That's why there was such a buzz surrounding this cigar-shaped object discovered tumbling through the solar system in October 2017. Experts said it was an interstellar asteroid, but a prominent professor has a more intriguing theory.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. I think it's one of the biggest stories maybe no one's talking about right now. The chair of Harvard University's astronomy department, Avi Loeb, he says this was an alien object. The very unusual object was the first ever observed to come from outside of our solar system. It was an odd reddish color, it was extremely flat and very bright, and it was seen to accelerate as it moved away from the sun. This Harvard University chair, having studied the object for the past year, is out with a scientific paper arguing that it's an alien solar sail, a very ancient one, he says, that uses the power of the sun to move around. It's an interesting theory just because of who's saying it, Talbot.
Yeah, it's not some kind of tinfoil hat guy. It's a Harvard professor.
And by the way, if there are extraterrestrials, I'm assuming they're a bit more mature than you with your Uranus comments. Anyways, we're moving on.
And you know what, Richard? If they do happen to land in Africa's Namib Desert, this will be the song they hear over and over and over again.
Roll it.
Now, what do you... I'm sure you probably heard of these professors talking about this. What do you know about that?
I've heard Avi Loeb speak on this quite a few times now about Oumuamua. Do I think it was an alien ancient solar sail? No, I don't. I think it could have been an ancient alien rock from another solar system, not our own. And that could be the term alien, that it's from, elsewhere, not from within our solar system. But I hate when these people on the news are like, oh, it wasn't a tinfoil hat person that said it. It was a Harvard professor, right? Like the rest of us are maniacs or our credibility is not good.
That's why I wanted to show this. That's why I wanted to show
I'm
this.
a highly decorated, police officer in my department. I'm no fucking idiot,
That's exactly why I wanted to show this, because I wanted to check in with you. I wanted to bring that part up. You just brought it up for me. Why does it have to take for, if anybody wants to dive into this kind of a subject and want to believe in it, why does it have to be Harvard, a Stanford, a Yale?
Right.
But if a regular person who's a police officer who follows the law, who obeys the law, who fights for the law, or like a military person, who sticks up for their country. If we say something, no.
What
But
makes
if
his
you're a so-called
credibility?
professor,
Yeah, the title is the only thing that makes his credibility stand out more to the public. Oh, Harvard, you know what I mean? Could have been a fucking moron with rich parents that got him through Harvard for all we know. You know what I'm saying? His mother could have, been sleeping with the headmaster at Harvard. That's why he's got a job there. Who knows? The guy could be a boob, right? So what makes his word any more credible than any of ours?
and
Nothing.
I'm not degrading anybody's education. I've got a college degree, I got myself a college degree, but a college degree is based on the books that you're reading, with the information that you're reading, and you study, you write
Right.
papers on the stuff in front of
Right.
you. There are some classes like archaeology where you got to go out and do a dig or something like that. But more of these people who are so-called professors and all that, you're not really out there. You know what I mean? I mean, some of them might be, but they're not really out there with the cameras, really looking at it. They're mostly people who study books and stuff, and their grades are based on the information that's given to them. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it's.
Don't you think if a Muamua would have been an alien solar sail from millions of years ago, Elon Musk and Bezos and NASA, they would have been all over that. It would have been the biggest story in the year. There's so many private researchers that look up into the, astronomers, that private astronomers looking up into the sky with dynamite equipment. What do you think? All these people, when they hit on that, you know what I mean? Just this guy hit on it? Come on, give me a break.
That's a good one. Forrest Gump went to college.
Yeah, he did. He went to go hang out with Jenny.
I love that.
It's seriously,
All right,
man.
let's check out number 6. Waking up in a different place from where you fall asleep. And I'm going to tell you guys something on this one. Many people sleepwalk, and they do for a variety of reasons. However, many of those who make claims of alien abduction also claim that they have often waken up in a different room of the house. And what's more, they're often unclothed or redressed in their clothes, but a check order as they've been dressed by someone who had little idea of how such clothes were worn. And the reason I'm almost positive if everybody sometime in life woke up somewhere and you don't know how you got there. I'm not talking about drinking drunk the night before. Yes, you pass out, you wake up. I'm talking about, I've done that. Well, I know I went to bed in a bed. I went to bed in a bed, and I woke up downstairs. I have had that where, like, how the fuck did I get down here? I wasn't drinking. I wasn't high. I was on no drugs whatsoever. How did I go from there to there? Almost everybody has experienced that some way. And I know it's easy to say sleepwalking and all that, but not everybody sleepwalks.
Drunk, definitely, but yeah, drunk, definitely. But I can't, off the top of my head, I can't recall that happening to me. Not drunk.
I'm not saying this happens all the time, but I have woken up in a different place. Like, how the fuck did I get here? I don't even remember here, and I haven't been drinking. Yeah, if you've been drinking, yeah, I mean that's irrelevant. But let's go on to number 5. Intense nightmares leading to insomnia. Everyone has a nightmare from time to time. In fact, that'd be quite strange if you not to have a frightening dream every now and then. However, many people who claim to be abductees also claim to begin having extreme intense night terrors. So what I'm liking about this is they're recognizing that we all have nightmare dreams. We all have. Listen, I had a dream as a kid that my window was open. I crawled in it. I opened the front door, and Santa Claus stabbed me with a Christmas tree. I had dreams like
that. Bad boy.
I know. I don't know why I had dreams like that, but I have had dreams. But what they're saying here is night terrors, extreme nightmares after they felt they had an event like an abduction in their life. Anthony, after your thing, I know you're a kid, everybody has nightmares, but did you feel you had nightmares that actually went up a level after
Oh,
your event?
I mean, after I had that experience in '93 when I was 13, man, I'm telling you, if I would look at the sky, I would get my blood pressure would go up. I would get really freaked out. And for whatever reason, when all my parents and my sister and everybody finally went to sleep at night, and if I was still up, I was afraid. I thought something was gonna happen. I thought I was gonna see those craft again. I thought I was gonna have missing time again. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I mean, that's a pretty big experience to happen to somebody. Until something like that really happens to you, you don't know that, you guys in the audience, unless you had an experience like that, you're not prepared to understand the ramifications that come along with it. You know what I mean? It's a lot that comes along with that. It's
Now, Long
terrifying.
Reach Run wrote, all the abductees counts I've read, they're a breeding program and very cruel in taking samples.
No. Some people, I've talked to so many people that have abduction experiences. Some are peaceful and they enjoy them, and some of them are just as you described. They're all different. I mean, look at it like this: there's good and bad people, there's good and bad extraterrestrials, there's good and bad experiences. It's all different for everyone.
Here's Scott wrote, I dreamt I was waving at a spaceship. Then I woke up at a picnic table. And the next day, there was a huge smashed grass pitch in the field behind my house. Wow. To thinking it was just a dream, and then to go outside or something and say, oh my God. Then I had that, and that just appeared right after that. That's wow. That's crazy. And I hate for anybody.
They're no joke, man. They're no joke.
Number 4, bizarre effects around electrical equipment. Here we go. Another point of intrigue is that many alien abductees often witness electronic equipment acting strangely when they are near.
I've had
and
that
these
happen.
can be anything from small devices such as alarm clocks to television and computers. In more extreme cases, these electronic shortages result in small fires. In some cases, abductees claim higher electric bills began to arrive out of nowhere. Ooh, that's interesting.
Well, my electric bill's through the roof.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's interesting.
I had a $960 friggin' electric bill last month, man. That was ridiculous. But not only that, I filmed. I go out and film UFOs in the sky. That's what I do for a living. And I've had batteries drain on me. And then you put another battery in, it drains right away. I've had glitches in my night vision. I've had the compass go crazy on the night vision. It was going haywire, north, south, east, west. Couldn't get a read on the object. I've had all sorts of stuff like that happen.
So this one, you've really, truly experienced. I mean, we all have experienced electrical equipment, but like in this way of fires and all that. And and you think, depending on if people have implants, and we'll get to a little bit of implants if it shows up later in this, but we don't know exactly how the implant is run, but almost everything has to be run with some kind of a energy source. And if there's an implant in you, I could see that even causing interference neither, because everything has to run off some kind of a power. I don't know how an implant generates itself its own power, but if it's able to do that, that's got to cause interference because it has to create power somehow. Maybe it's using the body to create that energy.
Yeah, that, because either that or they send the signal to it from wherever they are. You know what I mean? And it connects. Who knows with their technology? They were billions of years more advanced than us, they say. So who knows how they could do it?
Number 3, sudden paranormal activity and shadow people.
I've had that. I've shown it on film. Elena Ayanu in the chat has had that with the shadow people as well. That's a very interesting subject.
And this is what it says. The link between paranormal activity and alien abduction is stronger than many people might think. Perhaps one of the strangest of the ghostly encounters is the claims of abductees seeing shadow people in and around the home.
Yep.
These shadow people are so called as they are nothing but a black body-shaped figure. And even more unveiling, they are only seen on the corner of the person's eye, and only then for a very brief time. So when you see the shadow people, is it like how they're explaining it? Is it just for a brief time?
Listen, in the beginning, it started off, you would see something out of the corner of your eye, right? And then that will go on for a couple of weeks, and then you're almost expecting something to happen. So you would just spend large chunks of your day like staring off into the corner, waiting for something to happen instead of catching out of the corner of your eye. Then once you notice it up close and personal, and they realize that you notice them up close and personal, then you just see them all the time after that.
Wow.
And I've spoke to multiple people on this. I mean, I'm not the only one. I actually filmed. One time I had the camera set up and I was just filming in front of me, and I'm sitting on the floor and I'm watching TV, and one of them leaned in, looked right at the camera, and popped back out. And I was in the house all by myself, and I caught that on film, and I remember showing that on Facebook probably like 2 years ago, just to show everybody the shit that was going on. It's crazy.
And guys,
and yes, Donnie, I do keep backup cameras.
And guys, I know these are TV shows, but there's a lot of TV shows, Ghost Adventures, Taps, whatever you want to call. You can say they're fake or not. That's up to you. But there's been a lot of shows where people have seen shadow people. Now you start thinking maybe they have been abducted, but they don't even have full memories of it yet. And maybe the shadow people are connected with that without you even kind of knowing it.
True.
I mean, there's a lot of people have seen black shadow. That's so interesting to think of, that there's more connections than we think. That's why it drives me crazy when UFO communities, not all communities, not like you, Anthony. I'm talking about there's people in the UFO communities don't want anything to do with the paranormal community. Paranormal community don't want anything to do with the Bigfoot community. No, it seems like some of these communities don't want anything to do with each other, but they should, because
I enjoy it all.
But thing is, there are connections, and if you're in a total belief in if you're a pure paranormal belief, wouldn't you want to know these shadow stories could be connected to UFOs? And then you study it and you hear people like Anthony's story, be like, oh my God, this might be connected. That's why I'm always saying you should always keep an open mind to all.
I'm fascinated with the paranormal and Bigfoot.
Exactly.
And UFO.
Listen, you can have your number one committee, your number one UFO, but to deprive yourself of listening to other communities, you're not getting you the full information. You're not studying the full thing if you're not opening
it or
yourself
not,
up to everything.
Bigfoot is my favorite subject out of all of them. This experience happened to me with UFOs. That's why I study it and I work with it. But out of all of them, Bigfoot was my favorite from childhood on. That's where my heart lies. But guys, having that experience, I just went with the UFOs to try to figure out what the hell happened to me.
And he plays a great Bigfoot too.
That's right.
He plays a great Bigfoot character. All right, number 2, a sudden development of psychic and telepathic ability. I'm going to go here. Perhaps one of the strangest signs of alien abduction is a sudden ability to foresee future events. In some cases, even the ability to use telepathy. They can talk with their minds. There are various theories as why this might be. Not least that such strange events might result in channels opening in the brain that had previously been shut off. Whether that event was real or imagined, it would appear it is not as important factor, as well as these psychic abilities. Many people also speak of sudden awareness of the world around them. Others similarly mentioned that they have sudden understanding of the powers of the universe. Now, think about this, people. Think about this. Think about this. You've heard stories from people having near-death experiences that once they came from it, they now believe that they are seeing some ghosts more. Mediums have certain abilities. You know, now one of my beliefs is, think about it. You have abduction or a near-death experience or a paranormal experience. Your brain is working on certain parts of the muscle that hasn't been working before. You know, if a memory is compressed, it's trying to get out. Who knows what kind of things that's working inside the brain? Because remember, guys, we're only using technically 10% of our brain.
If that,
You know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? We're only using, so if something is trying to get out, a memory is trying to get out, like a memory for Anthony of his experience trying to get out, I can see where that part of a muscle in the brain is being worked where it's never been worked on before, and you start having abilities. Like people who just go to school, they live that normal life, you know, pink house, everything's so perfect and all that. They're not using their brain to think outside the box ever.
No.
So they're
Right.
never gonna, they might even have abilities that they don't even know they're tapping into because they're never used to in life to think outside the box. I'm not saying that's
I also think it's possible to suppress these memories from the sheer amount of fear that comes from being abducted. Some of those experiences for people are terrifying, so they block all of that out of their mind. So never mind the extraterrestrials blocking it. The things that you do remember was so terrifying that you yourself block on top of that. That shit happens too.
so we're down to one more left. But before we get to that one, I got one more video. This is a C-SPAN of an astronaut. Buzz Adrian reveals existence of monolith on Mars moon. And there's something in here I want to get Anthony's opinion. There's only one thing he says in here that was intriguing. I want to get Anthony's opinion on it when I get to it.
On the moon. We can visit other
hold on. Here we go.
habitation on the moon. We can visit other people with their habitation. We can keep track. If there's something very important to be developed from the moon, I'm not sure what it is right now. And I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
Now, what is this thing? When I heard this, what is it? Do you know what he's talking about? This thing that every 7 hours? What is he talking about?
The moon, one of the moons of Mars that go around it, that orbit the planet. And he's talking about a structure that they found on that moon, the monolith. They're calling it a monolith. It could be a structure that was made by, beings, or it could be, like a natural formation that just happened to be like a spire sticking out of that moon. And they called it the monolith.
And I don't, I never hear anybody really even talk about this moon that goes even around Mars at all. You don't hear about it.
No, we don't hear none of that stuff.
And I feel it fascinating because I enjoy he's saying that he wished that everybody just get together and put our heads together, start exploring, because I feel like in life, once you stop exploring, it's almost like digging your own grave. Life is done. You should always want to learn more. You should always want to explore more. And
I always want to say this, Eric. If people are truly interested in the subject, right? Well, then find your favorite investigators that you truly love and respect and donate to those people so they can have the funding to do the investigation that they want to do properly. Because if you really want to know what's going on out there, support the teams that you want to see do the research. It takes a lot of funding to do these things. So if we want to see these things get done in our future, you need to support the ufologists that are out there really doing the work. Because NASA's not going to tell you.
Well,
Elon
and for
Musk is
yourself,
not going to tell you. They're
well, for
only
yourself,
they're
that's
in it
learning.
for the benefit of themselves. What's that, Eric?
No, I agree with you, because for my like you said, if I'm just a common person and I want to learn more, and we can't be everywhere at once. You can't. I mean, you can't. Sometimes you're in the middle age where your kids are still in high school. You're still doing this. But if I can learn through somebody like you or somebody who's doing these for me, it's just like me being out there. But like you said, you got to study. You got to find out the groups that you like, that you trust. Just don't pick somebody and say, that's the guy. No.
Right.
Find out. If you like Anthony's research of his UFOs, support that. And by that, you're learning yourself.
Otherwise, we are never going to find that new information. No. I can't afford, I'm a foster father. I have my son, a wife, a house. I can't afford to drop $2-3 grand every weekend and just go investigate a new place. But if you guys and girls want to see that from your favorite investigators, we'll travel, but we need the support of the community to help us get there. We'll go do it all for you. But we need the help, It's the only way the new stuff is going to come out. That's the only way, because you guys still think the government's going to tell us the truth. You're fucking mistaken. They're not. They're not. Let's go to number one that we've all been waiting for. Alien implants. And Anthony did a whole show on his channel about implants. If you guys haven't checked that out, good show. That was a fantastic show. Here we go. Perhaps one of the biggest signs of alien abduction is the discovery of strange pieces of metallic or stone-like materials inside the body. These implants are often found during visits to a dentist or when receiving treatment from another medical condition. In some instances, these strange implants simply fall out of a person's body during a nosebleed. For example, remember X-Files had a lot of that stuff they found in nosebleeds. Most people attempt to preserve such implants for testing. However, even more bizarrely, these devices often simply melt away into nothing. That's interesting. Why they are placed into some people and who remains unknown. It would appear that they are some kind of tag. Indeed, many people who come to realize they are victim of an alien abductions also realize that such events have happened over many years, sometimes even in different locations as the person is moved behind during their lives. But I want to dig into this real quick. This is the last one. This is perfect for the last one. I still believe that not all implants are metallic. I do believe some implants are organic tissue that goes in the body. Because listen, I get that the body fights off certain things, but we're not talking about fights off organic stuff from this planet. We don't know what kind of technology they've used up there to create an organic style implant in you. And if there's been so many abductions, all we know is they've been studying people's DNA enough to create an implant that they can put in people that won't be fought off by the human body. Or if it melts away, maybe that is the body fighting off certain implants. But regardless, people have implants. And, this is part I want to bring up. And I'm not claiming that I have implants in my body because I don't know. But sometimes you got to sit back and think, how did this happen in my body, even in the first place? Right. How did I automatically have a tear inside here that just appeared, and my brother felt the same pain where he was at in the same area at almost exactly at the same time? Is it a coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying any abduction got me and they planted something inside of a tear, but
I had to think of the possibility. And I told Anthony this. A lot of people know I've been having major knee problems. I tore up my knee and all that. But before I tore up my knee a couple weeks ago, oh God, I had to find the x-rays. In the kneecap area, there's on top of the kneecap, there's a crack in the bone that technically, correct bone. I know people are getting it, but there's a part of the body where I remember the doctor didn't even know how that bone could get cracked right there, because it's almost like certain parts when you get a crack, you know, you got to bang it or something, but to have a crack on top of the kneecap, and I'll find the x-ray to show you guys so you guys don't think you. But he's like, it's almost like somebody would have to hit you with a sledgehammer. You would have other issues that causes that crack, but you just have a crack there. Right. Somehow there's some kind of pressure that broke it, and it's I'll find the results somewhere. It's in the paperwork and all that, and I didn't have time for the show because I know people are like, Eric, you don't have a crack. And it's up to you. You want to believe it or not. But there's people all the time that have these injuries just appear. They wake up like, how the hell did that happen?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
You know, could that be an alien implant? It could be a possibility.
Agreed.
Anthony, do you feel that sometime in your life, you have one now, that you have had an implant inside you?
I don't think so. But then again, what the hell do I know? It's possible. I haven't found one. I found a scar on my arm that I don't recall how it happened, like a scoop mark. There's nothing there because I've had an MRI. There's nothing under the skin, so possible.
But if it's organic, they might not be able to see it.
Well, don't forget, even metallic implants, they grow nerves and you know, tissue around it, and that's not supposed to happen. That's unheard of.
Remember this. When you go through an MRI and stuff, it's detect stuff that we know that's existing already on this planet to look for. If you get some kind of foreign substance that's from somewhere else, it's not guaranteed that an MRI is going to catch it too.
That's right.
You know, we don't know what kind of stuff they're putting in you. Like if they're able to fly here, I'm guessing they'll be able to fly through our radar. Radar is not catching every single one of them. So if they're able to fly through a radar without being detected, they can put something in your body that can't be detected either.
Eric, they can get here so many different ways. They can walk through your friggin' wall in your house from another dimension, man. There's so many different technologies these beings have. They come from inner earth, under the water, through different portals, through time, through space. And the possibilities are endless. They're billions. Some of these beings are billions of years more advanced than us. The technology that they have, we can't even begin to comprehend yet. So I can't even fathom what they can do, and how they can put implants in us, and how they can activate them and deactivate them and monitor you, me, and Matt and the rest of the world all at once if they wanted to. The possibilities are endless with these beings, man. It's crazy.
It truly is. And then I just want to show everybody one last thing, and then we'll end this show. Let me share this screen. This is coming up this Sunday. What happened to ufology? So this is a show that you're coming up.
Is that what my thumbnail looks like right now?
Well, if I go back and it looks like the
right.
thumbnail here, but when I click on it, it's showing this. I don't know why. But you can see here, your thumbnail is here.
That's so strange.
It's a picture of the guy that in the thing. So what's going on with this show on Sunday?
I did a face swap with a doctor. I put my face on a doctor on that thumbnail.
Oh, did you? Is that you? I wish I could see it bigger. Hold on.
I'm gonna see if I can fix it right now. I don't know why it's doing that.
So what's this show about this Sunday?
Well, I'm pissed off with all the hoaxes and scammers that are getting involved in ufology and everybody buying it, man. You got this guy coming back into the mix now, Jonathan Reed, Remember the guy with the alien cuff that disappeared and he
Mm.
killed that alien that looked like a fucking paper mache doll? Well, he's back in the circuit again, trying to make the UFO scam dollars. And then you have, so many other people. Linda Moulton Howe got busted, like 3 times already using fake footage of fake aliens. She had the balls to take one off a goddamn PlayStation game and put it behind a private paywall and tell everybody that, some CIA agent gave her the picture of this alien. And it's fake. And they don't come out. They don't apologize for it. They take our money and they sell us these pipe dreams. You got Elizondo selling us pipe dreams. Corbell selling us pipe dreams. And then you got the other morons that are out there promoting these idiots selling us pipe dreams. They're destroying ufology. They're killing the goddamn community, selling everybody this bullshit. And it's terrible. It shouldn't be. I think that people, when they find out the truth about these people, they should be boycotted. And any channel that supports them should be boycotted as well. It's the only way we're going to get them out of this goddamn community, man. They got to go.
So people, I put the link to this video, and what I want you guys to do, go to this link, and when you get to this page, see where it says notify me, people, click on it. Notification on. It's easy as that. Click the notification. And one of the reasons is you guys know, we know you're all smart. You all know what time it starts. But when you click a notification on, it actually somehow is supposed to help YouTube to say people are interested in this. And it helps to show people that are not subscribed to your channel. So that's why it's important about the notification, because it does help the algorithm to say, oh, wow, this is coming up if people are interested in it. So go there, click notify me, support the channel. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. And I apologize that we had to create another link. We don't know what happened. We don't know if it's a StreamYard issue that was connected with YouTube or not, but it happens. But I'm glad most of you guys stayed. And
thank everyone for coming back.
And if you guys want to support the channel, there's different ways. I have PayPal, there's Cash.app, there's even Buy Me a Coffee. I finally set that up. And these donations do help to get the fun cartoons created. And I just showed Anthony a preview of the next one. And it is the longest one yet.
Yeah, how long is that one going to go for? 8 minutes?
That was a 7 minute and like 40 seconds. So it is close to 8 minutes. And it's a great story. It's great.
Oh, it's going to be good.
And it's totally opposite of a desert. That's all I'm going to say. And your donations does help to get more creative, because if you like the next one, you're going to like it where that Eric, I have, what's this? Because Amber Paraworld is in this cartoon. Eric, I have a premiere this evening. Do you? Okay. Put your link in the chat right now so people can click on it and hit notify me.
And tonight I'm on Casual Conversations with J&A, 5 p.m. Pacific. So that's going to be a good
show. They were in the chat earlier.
Hang out. Yeah.
They were in the chat earlier, and those two girls are wonderful people.
They're
and
awesome,
I was a guest on their show.
Oh, you were there, right? Yeah, they're awesome. Man.
I was a guest on their show, and I told them that I love to celebrate young people, because it's one thing you can say, well, Anthony and I were older. We don't give a shit what people say. You can say that. But when young people have the balls to come out and talk about these things at their age, it's something that I admire, because we know people get laughed at. And we don't care if Anthony and I get laughed at, but when young people, they care a little bit more, because they still got a long life to live. Hopefully Anthony and I got another 50, 100 years left in us. But support the young people. Let them know that we got their backs, because talking about this kind of stuff, you can get, you guys know what I mean. I'm not going to get into it, but beyond that, so Anthony's show's on Sunday. I'll be back on Monday.
We're on 5 p.m. now. We're 1 hour earlier on Sunday for Andy. So no more 6 p.m. It's 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
And on the West Coast, people, that's 2 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Right. So guys, and if you can't make it live happens. It's hard. Just watch it later and leave a comment and say, hey, I just watched it. Great show. you know. But beyond that, guys, I want to say thank you guys for showing up today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope you enjoyed top 10. And remember, if you experience some of those in the top 10, you might just been abducted. There is a belief that Anthony and I have said before that we believe that everybody's been abducted at least once. It's just
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, and you just can't remember everything. But beyond that, guys, we're gonna end the show with the intro I started with. So have fun with the dancing aliens. It's a little more rock and roll, but baby, it's the weekend. We need to rock.
Baby.